Today we're going to use oil pastels to finish our Claude Monet Bridge. So I want to give you guys some ideas of my favorite things that I like to do to my Claude Monet artworks, but of course if yours is different from mine, that's totally okay. The first thing that I like to do with pastels is finish coloring in anything that I didn't have time to paint. So if you didn't finish your water, you could use blue or green oil pastels to fill all of those areas in so that there's no big white spaces left on your paper. Now for the fun part. We want to use all these beautiful colors to add flowers to our garden. Now the first place I love to do this is of course in the water. So I sometimes will like to draw little ovals of green for lily pads. And you can use lots of different colors of green. Sometimes a bright green will stand out more. I'm going to blend some white into this green to kind of make it pop a little bit. And then I take a nice pink or purple color and I just add a little zigzag line on top. And it looks just like a water lily setting on top of the lily pad. So I like to put as many of those in my water as I can. The next thing that I like to do is add flowers that might be on stems. So in some of these areas where you added extra plants, you can draw lines like so for stems. And then on the ends of the stems, you can add whatever type of flower you want. And we know that flowers come in all different shapes and sizes, so you could always do the type of flower that has a circle in the middle, and then add, let's see, I think I'll do orange. Then you can add your petals around the outside, like this. Lots of people have drawn that type of flower before, and then you can color the petals in. And whenever I see flowers in real life, I notice that they're not always just one color, so you might want to blend in an extra color to parts of those petals. Another kind of flower I like to do is one that looks kind of like a curly line. I just do a bunch of loop-de-loop lines to make like a tall flower like that. I have some flowers that grow like that in my garden. And they're called delphinium. So we can do that type of flower. So any type of flower that you want to add to your garden, of course, is up to you. We can also add more vines coming down from the trees. You can add leaves coming off of your vines. Any type of decoration that you want to add to your garden is fabulous. Now the very last thing that I like to do is I like to sort of add a little extra to my bridge. So you might have noticed that in Claude Monet's artworks, his bridge was actually painted green. So I sometimes like to take a light green color. Sometimes I think this minty green looks nice. And I just color a little bit of this on top of my bridge. So I'm going to put a little green paint on the top of the railing, on the bottom part where we're standing, and even here on the little vertical pieces as well. Now you might notice I'm not using super perfect coloring here because I kind of want the bridge to look a little old, like maybe some of the paint is peeling off, just like it did in Monet's pictures. If you want to color yours more brightly, of course that's fine. I also like to take a dark brown, and on the bottom half of all of my brown pieces, I add a little shadow. So this darker brown is going to make it look like my bridge is more realistic with the shadow underneath. And I'm going to do it on the left side of all of these vertical pieces as well. So that just gives our bridge a little extra something to make it kind of look more realistic. Now, when you have filled your entire garden with flowers and finished your bridge, then your artwork is complete.